Hi, I'm Eric Tusz-King, your DUCC staff person, and I'm going to share with you a presentation that I gave to the coordinating committee a few weeks ago, and it is an attempt to help us all with trying to manage our files. I'm going to turn off my picture. You've seen enough of me, and I'm going to get on with the presentation. We're calling this Fun with Files. It's hopefully an attempt to help us all understand and better use the files so that we can both save them and make them convenient for everybody, but also to save them for historical purposes as well. So the webinar today has two purposes, is to help you understand and organize and provide access to the documents needed for the regular operation of DUCC. That's critical because we're losing documents and it's not very efficient. The second is to maintain the documents that are needed for the history of DUCC. Why is it needed for the regular operation? Because we know that we've lost valuable policy documents and descriptions of responsibilities as we change our leadership a lot, because we're all basically volunteers doing this. We're wasting time in recreating things that we've done before. The other thing is we're discovering is we're not able to quickly share documents if we don't have a central storage for collaborative work. We're waiting for someone else to send us a document that may be on a different time zone or maybe away for a while, and that holds up some of the effectiveness of our work. With regard to the documents that are needed for history, we've discovered, and through particularly the hard work of the Archives Committee, that we're missing some significant documents in our history. And that's detrimental in telling the stories of DUCC and diaconal ministers. And we now know that no one else is archiving and telling our story and our history. If it's going to get done, we have to do it ourselves. When we discovered these challenges, the coordinating committee decided to enhance its services that we get for hosting the DUCC website by also looking at other Microsoft services such as Outlook and other Microsoft 365 programs. One of the pieces of that is OneDrive. It operates very similar to Google Drive, if you're familiar with that, but it's a central storage for our documents. This is what the OneDrive page looks like when it's when you get general access to what I'm calling the primary files. And I'm going to hopefully share with you this live document. There we go. This is the OneDrive as you'll see it live. There's many committees, and we've got quite a group of them: the Advocacy Committee, the Archives, Barb Elliott Trust Fund, the Center for Christian Studies. That's our communications with them. All the work of the coordinating committee, our relationships with DUCC and World Diaconia are all here. Planning for a national committee, things like that, even our general counsel office, relationships with our office staff there. These are all the committees. We can continue to add to that, calling this our primary folders, and it's under My Files. Now on your computer, it may look different, but since I've had to create this under DUCC staff, these are called My Files. The setup of each of the committees folders in there is very similar. You'll have agendas. Let's go back to one that's maybe a bit more developed. Let's go to Communications Committee. That's been well developed. The agendas here, then you go by the month after that. And here's the minutes. And there's nothing been deposited in there yet. I can see that by here. But we also have some other materials. This is the work of the webminder, who I'll mention later. This is where pictures will be saved for the webminder, and maybe some centralization of that so that the work for DUCC News and the Facebook group could also find those same pictures there too. So you can see that there's not only doc files or Excel files or PowerPoint even, but also some pictures can be saved in that. You can create documents and create folders within your communications committee, but each communication or each committee is going to have the chair and the secretary will have the responsibility for determining who has access to their particular committee files. So that's what the general document looks like. Let's go on to some other characteristics of this. So, as I said, each committee will have its own folder. All members of the related committee will be giving viewing authority to see the documents, not necessary editing and uploading and things like that. But it will be, all members will have the ability to view. The chairs and secretaries will have the responsibility for maintaining the folders and files, and the committee members will be giving the editing authority by the secretary and chair, and the chair when needed. It's not automatic, and it will be up to the chair and secretary to do that task. But once it's done, it should be good for all the time you're on the committee using that particular folder. There's going to be some consistency in that, hopefully. Each committee will have its name, agenda, minutes, and other folders, and you can create those, and it'll be year by month after that. We're actually going to use a bit more standardization, and we're going to put always, when we're referring to the dates, we're going to put year dash month dash day, so that we're consistently be able to see what folders are there and not get things lost. There's responsibilities for each of these for maintaining the documents. The chair of the coordinating committee has overall responsibility, but generally doesn't have a day-to-day responsibility. But the coordinating committee has overall responsibility, and the chair to help us all keep our work getting done. As I mentioned earlier, the chairs and the secretaries were responsible for maintaining their particular committee folders and files. The webminder, currently Deb Laforette, will have responsibility for the services and the liaison with the Microsoft Service 365, the provider of that. So not only does she look after the website, but she also connects us with the services that are provided by that provider. The database coordinator, currently Deb Kiger, and Doc Treasurer Helen Reed, also have the responsibility for maintaining what we call the database, and that's a confidential file, and the coordinating committee has created some policies to ensure that confidentiality. The archives committee not only has a responsibility for its own files, but also to review all folders to maintain the quality and of the records, and to transfer old folders over to the DUCC archives. That's similar to the archives committees of presbyteries or regions that have that responsibility. They may be looking for some volunteers, because that may be a task that's not too difficult, but it just may require some time to do that. And the archives committee is busy doing some other things. And finally, as DUCC staff person, that's me, as Eric Tusz-King. And I help to create and maintain the primary folders. And I also work with Deb Laforette, the webminder, to train and support users. And I'll come back to that in a moment. In the OneDrive, you can create a folder, or you can create a file or a document in that. And as I said, you can use Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You can download a document from your computer, or you can share that with others. And let's go to one more slide, and then we'll go back to the folder. You do that by just creating new. You create the folder name, add that on, and then you create your document inside that. So here's the back to the communications committee. If I wanted to, let's go to another one. Let's try one that hasn't had much retention work. Let's go to the national gatherings. If I wanted to look in here, and I see that there's two, there's an article here called orientation to new planning teams for the national coordinating. You can see here the real value of the collaboration that's possible here. Now, if I wanted to create a new document, I could go up here and I'd said folder or file. So let's call this one a new file, and we'll just call this new doc. Very creative, not can't spell very well easily or type. And we'll put in the date. As I said, we're going to try to use some standardization here. 0415. Now you'll notice that the document does not have a name yet up here. So I'm just going to copy this and then put it in up here. And then I've learned one thing, that there's no button that says save. All you do is click off the document and now it's saved. And that's there. Now, when you go back up, if you think you're getting lost, you can go back to the OneDrive here at the top. And here it is, document. Now, it hasn't updated its new name yet. So there's two ways you can do that. You can just click off and hopefully it'll come back in soon. Not yet, but it will appear in a moment there. Let's give it a refresh. There it is. New document 2204. There it is. But now I don't want to maintain that. I say let's delete it. Oh no, let's do a little different. It's not delete. Let's try to move it. Say we want it up under someplace else. So we click on these three dots here, and you'll see that it comes up to move to. And now it gives me the opportunity to put it anywhere I want. So I don't want to take it too far away because I want to delete it in a minute. So here's national gatherings. Let's just put it there. And get down here, you'll see just move to here. So it comes back up. This is the old area, planning materials. Back up here. There it goes. It's there now. There it is there. Okay, so it's no longer under planning materials. So let's go back under there and we're going to delete this one. So again, I can go here and delete, clicking on these buttons. I can open it, share, preview, download, delete, all these things. The similar buttons are up here, share, copy, link, download, rename. So I'll just use this one up here and it's deleted. And delete, just to confirm that. You can also download a document. So for example, if I want this one, I can download that onto my own computer. There it comes back into my own computer. All right. Don't want that there though. Or I can share it. This is something that you're going to be doing a lot. You can share this with other people. And let's say you want to share it with Vicky. And so there's the DUCC chair. I just put that. Now, because I've uploaded a lot of email addresses onto my version of the OneDrive, a lot of these will come up automatically. That may not be true in your situation. I'm not going to actually send that to her because I'm sure Vicky doesn't need another bunch of junk mail that I create for her. She gets enough stuff from me already. So that's, you can do that. You can also upload a document and let's see if this one works. Now here you can upload a document. So this panel down here, and I'll just enlarge it. This is just my Windows Explorer with the documents that I have in the DUCC National Gathering. So this is on my computer you're looking at now. I'm just going to reduce this and you'll see it's not minimized completely, but say I want to move the job descriptions and planning teams document here up into the OneDrive, all you do is very easy. You hold down your cursor and it goes up here and it says copy. There it is. It's now up in here. So that document now can be opened up by others that have access to these materials. So that's a very easy way to do that. I'm actually, let me see, I'm going to share that. Yeah, but I'm going to stop that because I don't really want to share it. At this point, I want to take it off. I'm going to delete that just so it doesn't clutter up too much stuff there. So that's the way you can add documents to that too. So from your own thing. Now this one shouldn't have been deleted. I'm going to have to put that back on there. So you see I made a mistake there. So this is the orientation. This is the one. I want to move that now. So restore. Now, one final thing. You notice that when this earlier slide, there were several of them that had email addresses there. One of the other commonalities that we've been able to achieve with using this new service is that we all have addresses that go with our role, not with the person. So we don't put personal emails on these things, but if you write to Vicky at this address, that file will be there and it will be available to people who follow Ducky or Vicky as the chair in the future. So we're not losing emails because so much information is stored in emails now as well. So you'll also see the other ones for Deborah Laforette, the webminder, info at DUCC.ca, Helen Reed, treasurer at DUCC.ca, and myself as staff at DUCC.ca. If you have any questions about the OneDrive in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to either Deb, the webminder, or myself, Eric Tusz-King, and we'll be pleased to give you further information and help. And if we don't know, we'll go looking for it. Sometimes we have to do that because we don't know everything. In fact, we don't know a lot. So thanks again for joining Fun with Files, and hope that this has been helpful to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.